Hi guys, welcome back to the channel. I'm Office Bloke Daz.
I'm Office Bloke Mike.
Here we are, the two of us.
Yeah.
If Patreon's your thing, check out the link below. Loads and loads and loads and loads of stuff on there, all for a bargain price of just
£1.50 a month.
Yeah, there's loads of stuff on there. Check out the link below. Full watch alongs, everything. You wouldn't believe it. You'd be thinking, wow, all this for £1.50 a month.
It can't be right. That's all you'd be thinking.
Yeah, anyway, the top 10 British bands who never cracked America.
Oh, this will be interesting.
It will be, because with bands over here, it is a big thing to go to America and crack the American scene.
It is. Yeah, it's a really, really difficult thing to do, sort of historically, isn't it? Yeah.
I mean, some of the major bands have always, like Queen, people like that, the big bands I always call them, global bands.
Led Zeppelin's, places, people like that. Ozzy Osbourne and his crew.
But there'd be a lot of on here. We'd be surprised at that. I imagine.
Well, I'm hoping so. Yeah, I guess so.
Maybe I'm hoping we've heard of all of them.
Yeah. Oh, we would have heard of them all.
Well, you would.
Must have done.
You would. You're more into music than I am. Should we get into it? Top 10 British bands who never cracked America.
Right.
These musical groups found fame in the UK, but they remained relatively obscure in the US. Welcome to Watch Mojo UK, and today we're counting down our picks for the top 10 British bands who never cracked.
I'm not going to lie, he's one of my favourite characters on the planet.
Well, Bez, absolute screaming.
Do you watch him on Gogglebox?
Yeah.
He's funny, isn't he?
Even
Sean,
absolute
mental, aren't they?
Yeah. Just absolutely crazy.
Just some of the stuff they say. He said the other day when Sean says, someone awarded me with a some kind of plaque or trophy or some kind of like memorable thing, and Bez was just sat there nodding like that, and he went through it all. He said, I can't remember what I got it for. He said, but I've got it. So he went, yeah, it was me. I just went, why? He went, was it?
Another one he said was, he's just talking to Bez. He says, whenever I tell you wine, I start seeing dead people. Something like that.
Yeah, it was that. Yeah, exactly what it was.
Just randomly.
They're absolutely off the nut, aren't they?
Yeah.
Heard of them.
Cracked America. Before we begin, we publish new videos every day, so be sure to subscribe for more great content. For this list, we're focusing on bands that never experienced continuous commercial success in America. Number 10, Supergrass. For a British band to successfully cross over into America, it's crucial to capitalise upon the buzz. And for Oxford group Supergrass, well, they failed to expand beyond their native demographic.
Just going to say, while we're starting this, there'll be some bands that I wouldn't be surprised that haven't, and these are probably one of them.
They're more like a one-hit wonder. I would probably put Supergrass more down as.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, the first song there,
that's the only song I really know of theirs. Yeah.
That is the standout song, isn't it? And so, a band like this, I wouldn't be surprised that they didn't make it. But not that it's a bad band.
No,
good band,
no.
With their 1995 debut album I Should Coco, Supergrass briefly reached the number 1 in the UK charts and actually released 2 more albums by the end of the 90s. By that time though, music trends had changed significantly in the US and, well, Supergrass began to drift away, barely cracking the US Top 200 with 2002's Life on Other Planets. Sadly, it all ended with an internal Twitter beef. Number 9, Madness.
What? Madness?
During the late 70s and early 80s, this band was far more than just a one-hit wonder in the UK. In fact, Madness would even influence the American band that would ultimately become No Doubt.
What do you think they would have cracked it?
I
wouldn't have thought it'd be their style of music, even in the early 80s.
It's one of my favourite bands, Madness.
Oh, same here. I've got all singles.
I've seen them live a couple of times, and they're absolutely mint.
Yeah, they're really good.
But they are very, very good. But you're right, it probably isn't that type of music that people... You're saying the influence, No Doubt.
Yeah, that's a new one on me.
Yeah, same. I guess when you listen to early stuff from No Doubt, it has got that, like...
more the later Madness, not the. I mean, the early Madness is more ska, with One Step Beyond and all that.
Big time ska,
yeah, great band, love them.
And like Gwen Stefani's versatile group, Madness didn't align themselves with a specific genre, as they blended together a variety of musical styles. With that being said, Madness was, in fact, linked to skinheads in their early days, which perhaps negatively affected larger-scale opportunities. Regardless, the UK band experienced great success during their initial 10-year run, but never once did one of their acclaimed albums crack the US Top 100 charts.
It must be love, love, love.
Number 8, Take That.
I guess now it's time.
I was in school with one of these. I still see one of the brothers now.
The old oranges.
It's great to see him though. They're being successful. I mean, they're a massive successful family.
Oh,
not based on
huge.
what he's done, but his brothers are real
Just
success
from
story.
down the old road, weren't they?
Yeah.
From where they grew up and everything. So
right next to our school. So
Yeah.
it was, they were good. They were a great family.
I'm surprised at this one because I thought Take That were pretty much worldwide. You know, especially with Robbie Williams because he's well known everywhere as
They
well.
actually played tonight at the
Co-op.
Co-op.
Oh, really?
Co-op live tonight. Yeah. It's
Very good.
But they're missing a couple of members still. Obviously,
Yeah, I think we're down for 3 at the moment, aren't we?
Jason's missing and Robbie's missing. Yeah,
That's right.
but they were. I think at the same time you might have had things like New Kids on the Block or
True, yeah, they had a lot of
NSYNC. You know, them sort of bands that were sort of like knocking around the USA.
Again, it's probably more UK sounding type of music.
Yeah.
It's not really an Americanized
I mean, they
sound.
smashed
is it?
the UK. They were probably
Oh,
one of the biggest bands ever in the UK.
Absolutely, yeah, they
Yeah,
were at the
huge,
time, and they probably still
huge.
are. You know, they go anywhere, they can sell out stadiums and all
big
sorts.
time.
in
And
the
even
UK.
on their own, Robbie on his own can do it as well. You know,
Absolutely,
so I
yeah,
think
he had a
Robbie
great
proved
career
he
as well.
He
Even
did.
Gary
Yeah.
Barlow's
Yeah.
done quite a bit. He's
Gary
done-
Barlow.
He's done all sorts.
Yeah. That was my impression of Gary Barlow.
Very
by the way.
nice.
For me to give up.
By the mid-90s, the legendary music executive Clive Davis signed this UK boy band to a record deal with Arista, but Take That had already begun to self-destruct.
So come on, get it on. I don't know what you're waiting for.
In their prime, Gary Barlow stunned critics with his songwriting skills, and a young Robbie Williams displayed his obvious star power. And so, Take That seemed primed for America. Yet Williams quit in 1996 just as the pop scene was about to change in the United States. The group initially formed in the early 90s, and despite 3 well-received albums, Take That just didn't seem to have the right amount of mojo to keep it going, although the core members would later reunite with Williams in 2010.
Wash your mouth, son, or you'll find yourself floating home.
Number 7, Kasabian. American indie fans have certainly heard of this group from Leicester, despite the fact that Kasabian's lead singer Sergio Pizzorno once noted that he hates indie bands.
I'm not so Sergio's the lead singer either, but I went to see these. I got an invite from American Express.
Yeah.
And they invited me down to see this group, and they said, "We want you to come. You've declined us loads of times. We want you to come."
Yeah.
So I said, "All right, I need 4 tickets." And they went, "All right, I'll get you 4 tickets." And me and Gaynor went with 2 of our friends. And when I got there, the place it was at the House of Blues in Atlantic City. People who don't know it,
Yeah.
or people who know it. And I went down, and it was dead. There was only a couple of hundred people in there.
Yeah.
And I was at the bar, and I could walk up to the stage. I'm like, I wonder who's coming on. Kasabian came on.
Oh, really?
I was like, oh, mint sort of thing. So I went to the stage, I was chatting with them.
Yeah.
So I think as they're playing, there's no one in there.
Yeah.
And the guy says, "We're not the main band, mate. Stick around."
Yeah.
And Oasis.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, I had a great night. Yeah, it was a proper top night. Yeah, with Kasabian,
Nice.
yeah.
So that's one thing to consider when thinking about Kasabian's failed American crossover. In the UK, they reached number 4 on the UK charts with their self-titled 2004 debut, and the next several albums managed to reach number 1. By 2013, however,
Great band.
guitarist Jay
Yeah.
Mellor actually left
A sort of bit underrated, really, Kasabian. They tend to go under the radar a
Yeah.
bit. You know, when you go to places like Glastonbury and stuff like that, have they ever headlined there or anything? You think they'd be nailed on for
I
it
think
these days?
Kasabian might have headlined, was it?
Yeah. They must have done, surely. They must have done. That's what I mean, yeah, but that's what I mean.
Kasabian must
I
have.
think they're hugely underrated when you look at the records it had over the years.
Yeah.
That's a good set of
top
records.
band, top
yeah,
band.
really good.
to play with Liam Gallagher, formerly of Oasis, while Tom Meehan cited unfinished business in America around the same time.
I think Tom was the lead
However,
singer,
the
wasn't he?
2014 album 4813 failed to chart in the US, and maybe Kasabian just wasn't ready for a committed American crossover. Number 6, Happy
My
Mondays.
favourites.
Now this Mojoholics is what you call a Manchester band. From 1980 to 1993, Happy Mondays managed to gain quite the following in the UK, certainly with their 1990 album Pills and Thrills and Bellyaches. But considering that a band like New Kids on the Block was big in the United States at the time, well, that's just one reason why the Happy Mondays sound failed to connect with the American mainstream. Even so, this is a band that heavily influenced some of the more notable UK bands of the 90s, such as Oasis and the Stone Roses. Yet their sound embodies more of a distinct Euro vibe rather than trendy American hooks. Number 5, Stereophonics.
Just before that, on the Happy Mondays, Bez was only there. For those who don't know, Bez was only there to supply the pills and dance.
He didn't play any instruments, didn't sing. He had his maracas.
Played the maracas, didn't he? Or what do you call them? Is that what they call them? Maracas?
Maracas.
Yeah, the shaker things.
Yeah, it's like castanets. It's maracas, isn't it?
Yeah, but it was.
What character?
He's absolutely.
He just danced there all night, won't he?
Yeah,
I think most of them were, to be honest. But
if you look at him now, you look at him and think, kids, that's why you don't do drugs.
That's
exactly
why you steer clear.
Very funny guy. Two really good characters for the music industry, aren't they?
Definitely,
Brilliant.
I've been down and I'm wondering why these little black clouds keep walking around me.
From the late 90s to the early
Surprised at
2000s, this Welsh band established a reputation for their killer live shows. However, Stereophonics ultimately dismissed original drummer Stuart Cable in 2003, reportedly because he was more interested in his TV show than the band. Sadly, Cable would pass away just 7 years later. In their prime, Stereophonics was known as one of the most talented UK bands, releasing 5 number 1 albums throughout the 2000s.
Yeah, I saw them at actually the arena in Manchester, donkeys years ago, but very, very good live though. You know, the natural tight as a nut, honestly, really good. Not much chat from him, like, but
I think Dakota would have. I think that songs like Dakota would have killed it on on the US stage. That's what I'd have thought. I mean, that's why I'm surprised.
You'd think that, some of their music I think would travel over nicely.
Yeah, it's very,
my
very
favourite
similar.
Local Boy in a Photograph, and it's probably one of the first ones, wasn't it? But absolutely brilliant single. But yeah, something like Dakota.
But you heard Dakota everywhere you go. Sort of thing.
It's
massive,
just
massive song.
travels really well.
Yet only one of those, 2001's Just Enough Education to Perform, managed to crack the US Top 200 charts.
So maybe tomorrow I'll find my way home.
Despite the lack of American buzz, Stereophonics continues in their native Wales as one of the most highly regarded UK bands of the 21st century. Number 4, Manic Street Preachers. Like many overly ambitious rock bands, this Wales group infamously hyped up their 1992 debut album, Generation Terrorists, and, well, failed to crack the top 10 in the UK charts. In fact, the Manics wouldn't land a number 1 until 6 years later, this coming 3 years after the mysterious disappearance of the celebrated songwriter and guitarist Richie Edwards. Their music is pure rock, something that US rock enthusiasts could easily get behind, or so it would seem. But while the Manics became iconic figures overseas, their sound just never translated to American mainstream consumers. Decades after the loss of Edwards, however, the Manics continue to wail. Number 3, Pulp. By the time of this band's success during the mid-90s,
It's like my playlist is going on.
I know. just going back to the Blokes Street Preachers. I mean, I thought, I think he's right there. Sound might have translated, bit sort of Green Day-ish, a bit sort of that type of.
I get that. But
certainly, some of their songs would be right up the street of the US. I think, but
I mean, it doesn't mean they've not been played in the US.
No,
I think it's just like they've not cracked it on a big,
big
scale.
I think you need huge tours. I think you need loads of cities, but then I think you need to have a single that everyone plays that's heard all around the country. It's such a huge place.
It's like that with Stereophonics with Dakota. It's like an anthem.
Yeah.
It's become like an anthem over here. Anyway,
right.
I'm just surprised that someone's very surprised. Pulp.
Yeah.
Travis Cocker and the crew. I just thought it'd be bigger than that.
Huge.
Britpop era, they had already been together well over 15 years. And until then, Pulp had never actually landed a gold record, let alone an American hit. But albums like Different Class and This Is Hardcore teased at a potential American crossover, with the latter finding its way to the US charts in 1996. At this time though, reported drug use and internal scuffling shook up the band, and Pulp's final album was ultimately released in the early fall of 2001, peaking at number 6 in the UK charts. For a brief time, this group was on par with the likes of Oasis, but like the Gallaghers, Pulp just couldn't manage to keep the unit together. Number 2, The Jam. Fronted by the multi-talented Paul Weller, a man known for his distinct British compositions, this band came, saw and conquered during their decade-long existence. Well, at least in the UK.
I first felt a fist, and then a kick. I could now smell their breath.
Aesthetically, The Jam preceded punk, and they called it quits just as the new wave took off in the early 80s. In between, they released 6 acclaimed studio albums, with the last 5 climbing the UK charts. Truth.
If you quit before the punk scene hit in the 80s, he went on from being the Jam to being the Style Council.
Yeah.
Didn't he? Well,
that's right. Yeah.
So I wonder if the Style Council hit big.
Maybe.
You know what I mean?
I just think if they'd stayed together, they would have been even bigger than Jam.
I think.
But obviously internal squabbling, I think
yeah.
it could have been absolutely one of the biggest bands ever.
I agree with you, 100% agree.
Definitely.
But if you look at some of the early photographs of Weller with his bandmates, sort of thing, they don't look like they get on.
No, I don't think they did.
They look like right miserable bastards.
Yeah, I think there was a lot of tension, especially between him and the bassist.
I can't remember his name. I don't know.
I can't remember, but musicianship-wise, all of them were absolutely incredible.
It was great. I agree with you, 100% great band.
Yeah.
Be told, The Jam had somewhat of a steady presence in the US charts during their run, but despite their stylized look and obvious talent, the party ended with the 1982 release, The Gift. And just like that, The Jam was gone before Americans could catch on. Before we unveil our top pick, here are a few honourable mentions.
Never heard of them. Have you not? Oh, great band.
Maybe they were about when I was in America.
Put on something like My Velocity on Spotify or something like that. Great record.
Never heard of them.
Access Manchester playing them all the time, but...
No, I listen to Access Manchester all the time.
Yeah, that's on quite a bit, that one.
Yeah, I've never heard of them.
Yeah, right.
Meet me on the mad parade when the midnight bells are chiming.
Number 1, The Stone Roses. If you're even vaguely familiar with the bravado and attitude of Oasis, well, let's just say the Gallagher brothers were inspired by the Stone Roses. This is a band that once said America doesn't deserve us yet, and while they may have been right, the Stone Roses didn't seem in a hurry to record consistent music after the renowned 1989 debut.
Let me put you in the picture, let me show you what I mean. The Messiah is my sister, ain't no king, man, she's my queen.
In fact, it took a full 5 years for the Manchester group to drop a second album, and the band folded for good less of 2 years later. Since then, there has always been talks of a reunion, but it just never seems to happen. And so the Stone Roses will forever remain an acclaimed British rock band that failed to live up to their crossover potential. Do you agree?
Yeah, great.
Seen them live a few times.
Yeah. Another one with local connections, Ian Brown's at School Arcade.
I see him all the time. Still see him now knocking around.
But he's just not like Manchester. Yeah, Happy Monday, Stone Roses, take that.
Well, if you think, yeah, exactly. When you think about the 90s, I guess the Oasis probably made it big in the USA. Yeah. It's but when you think about Manchester music, I mean the Smiths. I don't know how big the Smiths were in there. The Smiths were
great
huge.
call. Yeah,
they were probably bigger than the Stone Roses. They were the initial influence, I'd say.
I think,
the
huge.
Smiths,
yeah,
especially for Manchester music. But when you say things like the Waterboys, there I'm surprised because the Hole in the Moon was there. Probably the.
That's pretty. I thought it pretty much won it wonders. Waterboys, must
admit.
Yeah. I couldn't think of another one.
I actually thought they were American.
Oh, did you?
Yeah, I didn't know they were English. Yeah, or British.
Right. Well, there you
didn't
go.
know.
Then learn something new every day. But yeah, to me, they'd be sort of like one-hit wonders. I couldn't think of another one.
No, same.
By the Waterboys.
Yeah, that's the only. If anyone said to me, name me a song by the Waterboys, it'd be
That would be pretty much it, I think.
Yeah, I can't think of any others. And
No,
even
I can't.
Even mention one there, and I still don't know.
I
that
probably
one.
know one or two others, but I mean,
Yeah.
don't spring to
I'm not
mind.
gonna lie though, there's quite a lot of bands on there that are on my playlist.
Yeah, not
You know,
surprised. Some great bands
Stone
on there.
Roses, The Jam.
Yeah.
There's definitely the Happy Mondays. I've got loads of Happy Mondays on there.
Yeah.
But I've even got like Black Grape on there that Sean Ryan.
Oh, that's
filmed
right.
after
Yeah,
that.
he did, didn't
And
he?
even the Gorillas. When he did a bit with the Gorillas with Damon
Oh,
Albarn.
yeah.
So he's things like they must have done well in USA then as well. Blur.
Blur, I guess so.
'Cause
Yeah.
if they didn't crack it, they would have been on
They
there.
would have
So
been on
must
there
cracked
without
Blur.
absolutely
Another
doubt.
great band. But yeah, it's some top bands in there.
There was some brilliant bands, some great music as well.
Oh,
Absolutely superb.
Yeah. Don't know what you're missing out on
Yeah,
in the USA.
absolutely. Yeah.
Yeah, but I'm sure a lot of it's played over there. And I'm sure they've got a following because I've seen some of the bands play over there.
Yeah, certain tune. I'm sure bands in the States have been influenced heavily
big
by
time.
a lot of bands,
Yeah.
especially Manchester bands in the
Yeah.
80s, 90s.
Yeah.
It was absolutely superb for music.
Yeah,
it really was.
When top end of the sort of like the back end of the Hacienda days.
Yeah.
With Factory Records and things like that. With
And
Tony
it's getting a bit
Wilson.
like that now. There's so many bands out there now, live bands, especially around
One of them
Manchester.
being
Absolutely. Spangled. Yeah, absolutely
Spangled.
brilliant.
Get on them.
New
They're going to
singles,
be.
EPs out at the moment. Go have a look on Spotify and all that.
They are going to be the
But
next big thing. I
Let's
think.
hope so.
Yeah, I can
Let's
sort
hope
of vibe with them.
They're sort of
Got
going in the right.
definitely-
They're going in the right direction.
I've heard some of the stuff, mate, and you know what? They are very, very good.
Yeah.
really good. So you need to get onto them.
And
And
luckily,
Spangled. Check them out.
got even better stuff coming out because I've heard it. So anyway, but
Excellent.
yeah, it's
Tour
a
manager.
great scene around here at the moment. Not that biased.
Yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed that. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and we'll catch you on the next one.
Cheers.
Cheers.